Wife says I don't spend enough time with kids. My wife and I have been married for 9 years. The first 3 were great, but the last 6 have been a lot of ups and downs, but we managed. This year, 2024, has been really hard, the toughest of our marriage. Back in May of this year, we got into a back and forth because I felt we were not spending enough time together. I had told her months early that we just don't spend enough time together. She likes to spend more time with friends and family than with me. I saw that this was becoming a problem, but it came to a head one Saturday. It was a Saturday morning at the end of May, and we had just got up. My kids were not home, for they spent the night at a relative's. So I said, hey, we don't have the kids here, let's go out and get some breakfast. She says her head is hurting and that could I just go get us something. As we were discussing things, our daughter FaceTimes her, so they begin to talk. My wife then gets a call from her cousin asking her to come over and cook breakfast with her. My wife says, okay, I'll be there. I said we were discussing things and we could do something together while the kids are gone, but she says I acted like I didn't want to do it and moved slow. I said that's not true, and we were discussing what we were going to do. Anyway, she leaves to go cook breakfast with her head hurting, and I TXT her that I was displeased with that. I said we don't spend enough time together, and we get into a back and forth. She then tells me to come over to her cousin and eat breakfast, but I don't go. This make her really upset. So after that, we literally quit talking to each other for almost 3 months. SMH. In those 3 months was our anniversary and her birthday, and we didn't go out for either one. That is the first time we never did anything for our anniversary and her birthday. Fast forward a little to August. It got so bad, I asked my wife, did she want to sell the home and go our way, and she says yes. We ended up actually signing the initial documents to sell our home, but our realtor needed us to sign one more document, but we couldn't sign that until my wife got back from out of town. I believe God was in that. Nonetheless, once she back from her trip in August, we talked about things, and we decided to hold off on selling the home. I was glad about that, but I knew we had a lot of work to do. My wife doesn't communicate well with me, and I have pointed out, I think you have a personal trait called dismissive avoidance, which when I voice a concern I have, she retreats or shuts down, or she doesn't really take accountability for her actions. That part has been hard to work with, which kind of brings me to my question. My wife says I don't spend enough time with the kids. We have 2, an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. She says they tell her stuff, and I said tell me what they are saying, but she says ask them. I said you can tell me better than they can, but she refused. So on several occasions I have asked my kids, is there anything Dad can do better? Are they okay? They said they are fine and that there is nothing I can do better. I may wait a day or 2 and ask again, and it's the same thing. I just don't understand. I tell my kids if there is anything ever wrong, come talk to me, and they say okay. I don't agree that I don't spend enough time with the kids, but to not keep pointing fingers, I made it a point of emphasis to make sure I am spending time with them. I asked my wife just last night, does she see me trying? And she says yes, but in the wrong area. I said, what do you mean? She says she hasn't seen me do things with the kids. I felt so deflated by that. Just in the month of August, me and the kids went to the fair. We went on a couple dinner dates. We went to the movies. We go to church together, riding in the car together. I mean, we were laughing, talking, playing music, all that. But she says she doesn't see it. She will not have sleep with me and says the main priority is the kids. And once I do her list of complaints, she will be happy. And I'm guessing we can have a sex again. I don't know. I love my wife, and I don't think she understands how much I care about this family and making it work. Although I was relieved that we put things on hold to sell our home, I'm afraid that's where we are headed. I told her let's give it until the first of the year to see how things are, but so far things are not looking good. She doesn't seem like she wants to take any accountability, and all the blame is on me. I said let's do counseling. She says no. I said let's sit down and get a plan together, but there is true urgency. She even told me she wants things to work, but she also said she is not all the way in. SMH. Again, I'm just not understanding. However, I want to take her on dates, but she has canceled some, and others she just doesn't seem too enthused about it. Sigh. So what can I do? Has anyone ever been through anything similar? Is my marriage over? Am I a bad father? Thank you all for reading this. and I would appreciate any advice/help.